Welcome back! In this video we are going to continue our Podman journey, and Podman also supports the compose, just like Docker. And if you issue the podman-compose, you will see that this is a command which was not found because podman-compose is going to need Python and the pip module. So first we will have to install the Python 3.12-pip, if that's the version which my OS is supporting. And once the pip is installed, Python 3.12-mpip freeze, we can verify it, and then we can use the podman-compose with the pip install. Very good. So now all that is left is to create the service definition. We are going to create the compose folder, and inside that compose folder we are going to create the compose.yaml. And the compose.yaml is going to have two services. First one is going to be the DB, and the image used is going to be the image from Docker, the Postgres latest. Then we will say that the container name is DB, and the environment is going to define the credentials or the values needed for Postgres to initialize. So the Postgres user, and this is going to be called backend, and the Postgres password, backend password, and we are going to use the Postgres DB, which is going to be my database. And we want the ports the following way. So we are going to use the standard Postgres ports 5432, and we say that the volume is going to be the rpy and the var lib pg-sql data. So we have persistence. And the network that we want to use is going to be the PG network. Now we can define the DB-admin. This is going to be the PostgreAdmin, and the image is going to be the Docker image for PgAdmin, and the container name is going to be db-admin. And the environment which we use to configure the credentials is going to be user@example.com, and this needs to be the PgAdmin default email, and the PgAdmin default password is going to be Red Hat. Good. Now we will have ports, and the port for PostgreAdmin is going to be 9091, and we map it to the port 80. And we are going to use the network, which is going to be PG network, and we are going to use the depends on, and we want the DB to be ready by the time we get there. And the volumes is going to be empty, and the networks is going to be PG network, and we leave the configuration to basically the podman. Now we can use the podman-compose, and this is going to take literally the same arguments, so we can bring up our environment with the podman-compose up, just as if we would do with Docker compose. And once the containers are downloaded and started, we should be able to visit our PgAdmin web interface. It's not that fast, but it's not that slow either. And after that, we can go and verify. So basically it's running and system is ready to accept connections, which means the DB is ready. And now we are going to use our browser. And in the browser, we are going to say HTTP CentOS 10 1991. And we can use the user at example.com with the Red Hat password. And on the servers, we can click register server and let's call this local. And for the connection, we would specify the database as my database. And the user is going to be backend. And this is going to take the DB. And the password is going to be backend password. And if you save it, you can see that we have successfully connected to our database. And here you can see basically that the PgAdmin is working and it is able to communicate with the Postgres database. And that was all. If you want, you can use the podman-compose up-d. This is going to put them in the background, but the podman rm-a should be podman-compose down. Let's bring down the environment and then remove the containers and container rm. And afterwards, we can use the up-d. This is going to bring up the environment, and the podman-compose is going to provide us with, for example, the ps command. This is going to show that these are the related containers. And we can also grab the logs. And we can, I think, follow the logs as well. And basically, if you are familiar with the Docker Compose, you can do pretty much everything here. Docker podman-compose port is going to be -a. Oh no, this is basically a different one. So technically, this is how you can create your environment with podman-compose. And that was all I wanted to show you. See you in the next one.